I'm Davy. I'm awesome. And welcome to Davy's Awesome Stories, where I tell funny stories from my past or go on a rant in an effort to make you laugh. So, it's December. By everyone's account, it's the Christmas season. And don't get me wrong, I love Christmas. Absolutely love it. I love the songs, I love the food, I love the decorating, and I love getting presents for my kids. Absolutely love it. But I can't help but think that as the years have gone on, it's a lot harder for us than it was for my parents. Like some of you are already getting upset. Hear me out. When we were kids, shopping for kids was so much easier. Like everybody thinks it's easier nowadays because of the internet, but it's not. The internet is not a great place to do Christmas shopping unless you do it way, way early. Because like seriously, it's like overnight. It's like October 30th. If you order something, it'll be here before Christmas. November 1st, it's like, well, if you pay us triple, we'll make sure it's there by January. It really seems to do that. Like, if you wait till December, it's just like, no, you're not getting it before Christmas. And then, of course, you always have those people who love to chime in. You should do your Christmas shopping in July. First of all, why is it always July? Why is that always the go-to month before Christmas? Why not June or May or August or something? No, it's always July. But there's a reason we don't do Christmas shopping in July. And it's not because we're stupid. It's not because we don't plan ahead. It's because if your kids are anything like my kids, what they're all into in July is not necessarily going to be what they're into in December. Like at this point, my oldest kid, you can't go wrong with pretty much anything Mario. He's a big Mario fanatic. My middle kid, same thing with Sonic. They get into other things like Minecraft and Five Nights at Freddy's, but Mario and Sonic seem to be where they've stayed for the last few years. But before that, it changed like a finger snap. Like my oldest, he used to be really into superheroes. And within less than 2 years, he went from being a Superman fanatic to Spider-Man to Iron Man to the Flash. Then he finally got into Mario and it stayed there. The middle kid, he did the same thing. He went from being a Green Lantern fan to a Spider-Man fan to some stretchy superhero character named Jonathan from some French cartoon he found on Netflix to Shazam. Then he got into Sonic. My youngest, he's 5. He still flip-flops. His first thing he was really into, which was thankfully around Christmas that time, was Peppa Pig. You couldn't get wrong with Peppa Pig. And I'm not going to lie to you, I was very happy when he outgrew that phase. Now the only pigs he cares about come on his plate. By next Christmas and 3 things later, he was into Paw Patrol. Again, easy. But last year, what he was into was some show called Blaze and the Monster Machines. That show, apparently it's kind of popular, but not popular enough for the toys to take up shelf space at Walmart. This year, he's all into Pokemon. Pikachu specifically. And I'm not going to lie to you, I hope that one doesn't stick. But whatever, what they're into is what they're into. But it's not as easy to find. Because like I just said, nowadays, in most places, really the only 2 places to find toys is Walmart or Target. And these are not toy stores. They are stores that just happen to sell toys. So their toy section, even though both will go all out for the holidays, it's limited. Like ultimately, again, they just have a small section. So you have to be popular enough to demand that you take up some of their shelf space. And I understand that. They're not toy stores. But back in the day, we had toy stores. Stores. Plural. When I was a kid, my parents, they could go to Walmart, they could go to Target, they could go to Kmart when it was still worth going to. They could go to Toys R Us. Apparently there are still a few Toys R Us stores around, but not very many, and none out here. We could go to KB Toys. I don't even know if they exist outside of Canada anymore. Like, if you live in the United States and there's one near you, go ahead, tell me. Because I haven't seen one in years. Not to mention, when I was growing up, there was always at least one in every town, maybe more than one, just little mom and pop owned toy store. Just, Bill's Toy Shop, something like that. And yeah, some of them were a little more expensive than Walmart or Target, but you know what? They put toys on their shelves. My brother and I, we were constantly into toys that were not mainstream stuff. We didn't care about mainstream back then. We were kids. We were just like, oh, that's cool. I want that. The stuff that would not get on the shelf at Target or Walmart or even Kmart because it wasn't popular enough, they'd have it at Toys R Us or KB Toys or some little mom and pop place. It was awesome. So yeah, my parents actually had to go to the places to buy the stuff, but they had a lot more options. More than once, I've had to tell my kids, sorry, what you want doesn't exist except on the internet, and it won't get here in time. Not only that, but I remember when I was a kid, my parents would usually tell us, you can pick one big thing, and big meant more than $20. And then, what kind of little things do you want? And it usually worked out. Like, I remember one year, I wanted the Ninja Turtles van and some Ninja Turtle toys. That was easy. They got the Ninja Turtle van, and the Ninja Turtle toys were easy, because for like $20, which, yeah, went a lot farther back then, but still wasn't exactly a lot of money when I was growing up, you could get like 4 or 5 action figures. Now, unless they're like action figures that are like really cheap and nobody cares about, you cannot afford more than one with $20. Like, even if the toy itself is not $20, it's more than 10. Like, that's standard nowadays. Action figures are about $20 each. Back then, if my parents gave me $20 and said, hey, I'll go to the toy section, I loaded up on action figures. So not only that, but now it's so much more expensive. And now with the economy the way it is, I give it 2 or 3 more years before we're like...
So, Dad, what are we getting for Christmas this year?
I paid the rent. So I got you the ability to have a roof over your head and be able to take a piping hot shower whenever you want. Now get your ass in the kitchen and eat your Christmas Spam.
Ooh, Spam.
We like Spam in this house. But the thing about my kids is, I buy them toys every year, but they hardly play with them. The longest they could be into a set of action figures was like a couple of days. My kids are the video game generation, and I'm okay with that. I liked video games as a kid. They like video games. They like it more than I do. Like, I'm not big on game streaming channels. Sorry, I'd rather play the game versus watch somebody else play it. But whatever. That's what they're into. It's cool. But the video games, they've always been expensive. What kind of irritates me about them being the same price, though, is that when I was a kid, we had a cartridge, something big, something we could hold. Now they come like this, and they're the same price. Or you can digitally download them for the same price. Why am I paying the same price if I don't have a physical copy? But then even that, I've had people say that, like, just digitally download the games if you can't find them. How am I supposed to give that to them for Christmas? What, are they supposed to unwrap a box that inside has a note that says, hey, go check your Switch account? No. But even that, the game systems, they've gotten more expensive, yet at the same time, they've gotten cheap on us. When I was a kid, game systems came with a game. They don't anymore. Not unless you're getting a specialty package, like a special deal of like, hey, we got a little bundle thing for you. It's only $100 more, but it comes with a game and an extra controller. That used to be standard. Like, I remember the year that I got my first game system, the Nintendo, the original. I've talked about in the past, yes, we had an Atari, but that was my dad's. My brother and I begged for a Nintendo. Begged, to the point that we were like, if that is the only gift we get at all this year, we want a Nintendo. And it was so expensive that year that, yeah, that was the only gift we got, was a Nintendo. And we were completely cool with it. Especially because it was worth it. Because the Nintendo came with a cartridge that on it had the choice of either Super Mario Bros. Or Duck Hunt. 2 games we could have literally hours of fun with. It came with an extra controller, because back then they expected we were going to want to play with other people, and they didn't gouge us for that. And it came with the Duck Hunt gun! So yeah, okay, at the time it was so expensive that was our only present, but you know what? It was like a bunch of presents in one compared to nowadays. Because when we buy our kids a system now, we also have to buy a game. We have to buy them an extra controller. How about this, game systems? Why don't you do something innovative, make some money, and just give us the freaking controller and a game? Heck, even the year we got a Sega Genesis, at least that came with Altered Beast! Love that game. So the point of this rant is not that I don't like Christmas. I love Christmas. It's not that I don't like getting gifts for my kids. I love it. I'm just saying, I think it's gotten a little tougher since we were kids. So there you have it. That's my story video this week. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, make sure to hit like, hit subscribe, hit the little bell so you get notifications when I post videos, and leave a comment. Tell me some other ways you think that Christmas has gotten tougher since we were kids. Love you guys.